For some political positions, you have to swear an oath on the Bible when you get the position. In the European Commission, I had to swear on the Draghi report. I am, of course, joking, but nonetheless, the Draghi report was very clear. It mentions energy almost 700 times. Why? Because the high energy prices are damaging our ability to compete. We pay 2 to 3 times more for our energy in our industries in Europe than our competitors in the US and China does. At the same time, our populations, our citizens are struggling to pay their energy bills. Almost 47 million Europeans last year were not able to adequately heat their homes. This will obviously not stand. We need to lower our prices significantly. But this is also about security. We are still in Europe buying Russian gas and thereby indirectly helping Putin finance his war. Since the war began, we have imported fossil fuels from Russia for an amount equal to the cost price of 2,400 F-35 fighter jets. This will obviously not stand. We need to be independent of fossil fuel from Russia. This is also about fighting climate change. We see the devastating effects already around the world and in Europe. Forest fires, droughts, floodings, human lives are at stake. So, we need to fight even harder in the future to decarbonize our economies. When the US steps out of the Paris Agreement, it only means that we need to do even more. So, what does this plan deliver? Well, the potential is staggering. If we do the things that we propose in this action plan, which is a combination of faster implementation of things already adopted and new measures, we will save significant amounts. Already in 1 year, so this year, 2025, we can save 45 billion euros. That will increase progressively towards 2030, where we will save 130 billion euros at least every year. In 2040, that year is doubled again to 260 billion euros annually. All in all, between now and 2040, we have the potential to save 2.5 trillion euros, equaling 1.2% of our GDP. I'll just repeat these numbers as they are quite big. 45 billion euros already saved in 2025, 130 billion annually saving by 2030, 260 billion annually by 2040, and all in all, it's 2.5 trillion euros saved. So how do we do this? Well, first and foremost, it's about faster deployment of clean energy. More renewable energy, more energy efficiency. So there will be no backtracking. Instead, we will fast track. How do we do this? Well, one of the big problems that the renewable energy sector is facing today is the very long permitting times. And we will reduce those times significantly. So today, quite often, It can take years, even decades, for a project to be approved. In the future, we want that to be much, much shorter. We aim at reducing significantly the time so that for projects that are not complicated, it should take no longer than 6 months to get a permit. So not years, not decades, 6 months. For more complicated, bigger projects, no longer than 2 years. This will make a huge difference for the investments. It will make a huge difference for the planning of getting rid of fossils in our member states. Also, we need to look at how to decouple gas prices from electricity prices. Professor Draghi states this quite clearly in his report as a recommendation. We will do this by using different financial instruments like PPAs, CFDs, and we will work together with the EIB to create new facilities to promote PPAs and de-risk PPAs. All of this will lead to us deploying far more renewables faster than we're doing today. Connected to this is, of course, the need for our energy systems to be better connected in Europe. Right now, we are probably the region in the world that is best connected, but still, there's a long way to go. If we compare to traffic or normal infrastructure, road transport, it would equal being in a situation where we needed 100 big roads to connect Europe, but we only had 50, and of the 50, we were only utilizing and using 25. So basically, we need to double the utilization of the grids and connections we already have, and on top of that, we need to double the capacity that we have. So this means massive investments in grids and interconnectors. It also means rationalizing, digitalizing, using AI in the systems we already have. Third point I want to mention is the gas markets. So, we need more transparency, we need better control as to make sure that our industries and population are not paying too much for the gas. The legislation is quite clear already. There needs to be connection between supply and demand and the actual prices. Today, it's quite clear that too often the prices are extremely high, and we need to make sure that with transparency, with control, with possible sanctions, that we can bring those prices down. Also, we have decided to look at the possibilities for more joint purchases of gas. Being inspired by the Japanese model, we think there is many possibilities for us in Europe to utilize the fact that we are a very big market player, and that should make it possible for us to have cheaper prices. Now, let me conclude by saying just a few words about the way we work together. It's obvious that the Commission needs to do our part here, and we will. We will put down legislative proposals where necessary. We will formulate guidelines and help countries when possible. We will also, however, need member states to move faster. So member states have a big possibility in utilizing legislation already made. If they implement it, they can lower the prices both for industry and households quite significantly, even in the short term. As Commissioner Hoekstra mentioned in the previous press conference, there's also a big potential for lowering prices in taxes. I will also add to that tariffs. So Basically, an energy bill consists of three factors: taxes and levies, tariffs, and the price of the energy. If we look at the tariffs, today not many member states have tariffs that actually reflect the costs of energy when you use it. So if you make the tariffs more cost-related, you will get a much more rational energy system, and you can lower prices quite significantly. Also, we want to establish a tripartite contract for affordable energy, where the public sector, the producers, and the consumers of energy get together and work out the future plans in a more coordinated way. All in all, we hope that this will lead to also a faster and cheaper deployment of more renewables. Thank you so much.